Lali.
Waliwo golava nga tafunya 100 nga singa badde afunya 100 you would have seen certain things
in their life.
Like
on the show. On the show. Bab, 2 people.
No, but we get
Nga baba waddenga like a 40-50% of your total
of the total show.
Total show. There's several concerts, by the way. Actually, concerts don't need, but they were most of the concerts, but they were last year. Most of them have been supported.
Yeah.
Indirectly
or directly.
You know, Gamba, what's your budget? 100 pieces. Niwakuwaya meka. Asatu. You go buy whatever the stage. Kati chesta manyi nti nga wogambye nti all of them are not the same. Oyinza okusanga logo bawa the stage plus some other things. Yeah. Lwakuba sente ezo teziri public.
In this
so you cannot know who was really supported.
Puzzles and you'll add them together. Remember, Nkuka, the list of artists that Operation Wealth Creation told Abitex Negambe banabayimbi balina okuyimba.
Yes.
Do you see a similarity n'abayimbi abayimbi cricket over projects?
Anyways, it's NBS after 5, but I think I want us to talk about his grand entrance. It caused a lot of ruckus on social media. Where so many people came out and said he was mocking God. Because when you clearly see his grand entrance, it's a little bit scary. Yeah, and the fact that he has okay, we would, because remember when Jesus Christ was put on the cross, there were some other 2. But it was only Jesus that actually had the thorns on his head, and then him coming like that.
Yeah. And that brings us to the topic of today. Today we just want to look at that creativity that people are coming up with. Are we crossing the line? Are we within the boundaries? Because most of the things that we are trying to do, most of them have actually also been done on an international level. Was it Lady Gaga who came as a pop? At the we used to go crazy. She also came dressed with beef, like real beef, meat. Yeah, she's done like super crazy things.
Because she's even done videos where like
she came like
she always does. But you see, Douglas, things that have Jesus Christ in them.
That's why I mean, but first place I was just going to say, let's let it go.
Things
Remember the
that
time
have
we were
Christ
here
in
and
them.
That woman at the movie awards said something about
yeah,
God. Then
they were in
was
Los Angeles and they said in Los Angeles we don't have God, something like that. The next day
it was
they
like
had
3 days.
Yeah, no, like they did it on Sunday. Then on Monday they got those wildfires that came out of nowhere and it literally burnt the whole city.
Okay. You know, sensitive issues are religion, culture, gender, race. Now we are talking about religion.
Yeah.
There are people who see this as a portrait of this guy, industry agitutte ku kibegabega kye, mumukomeredde, ababeereddewo, naye temusiimye, nga Yesu era bwe bamukola ki, bwe bamukomerera. Another person is like, this is actually mocking God. So whichever side you're falling, you know.
Yeah.
We all Christians here.
Yeah, true.
It's just like that.
You never like,
godly things are not jokery, and whatever point you want to put, don't involve God. It's not compared to anyone.
So,
and I actually saw
could have come as a king.
After that happened, I've seen so many. There's a thread I found, but I can't find it on X, where it was showing different people that tried to mock God, and then immediately they are done. It might not happen like now, but after some days or some years, things completely like change. Some even die. There's a president, was it for Brazil? He said something about God that not even God can come before my elections or something like that. So he got the votes. After getting the votes, he even didn't sit as the president. He died before. So
may like the likes and the noise and all that, but
we are living in a generation whereby we are looking so much for clout.
The likes and views.
And that's why today we just decided to just talk about how much creative
How far can you go with creativity?
Yes.
How crazy can you go?
Yeah, because that's a big debate when it comes to creatives, like artists, actors, actresses, TV hosts, public figures, the content creators. Everyone in this day and age is trying to, make sure they are standing out.
Think out of the box.
Thinking out of the box. But how far can you go? Let's look at the most crazy intros on stage by artists. There's a time Chameleon came with a dove.
There was a time he came with a horse.
Then who brought some cows? Was it cows? Was it Gravity?
I'm seeing a cow somewhere also, yeah.
It was Gravity, I think.
That brought a cow on stage.
Over goats, over cow, over sheep.
No, I'm seeing a cow somewhere also. I don't know why, but I'm seeing it somewhere.
Yes, so somebody brought... It was Gravity. Yeah, cricket over still.
And today.
Actually, it was a goat.
I'm seeing it somewhere.
Epas also brought a goat during the club beats at home. Yeah. And that's where he started to say, I am the goat.
There are people who come with these trailers that lift things.
Yeah, we've seen Weasel come as Mr.
David Rutalo yajaneka battery mabega. Ngakachi. Waka ku thing behind there is a battery that is powering the lights. In my head I'm like, what if this thing short circuit? But the question is, how far with this creativity? Because first of all, we all agree it's needed.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to a show and you don't have that wow factor.
Yeah.
And then you walk back home. You want to go back and be like, what are you guys doing? And
you leave something for that.
Yes, and the king of pop actually had nailed this. The king of pop, Michael Jackson, knew those things of grand entrances. If you check the Super Bowl, there's a guy, I think he was like a creative director, and he's been like narrating. When the Super Bowl happens, all the previous ones start to come up
pop up comparing
in the algorithm. So this guy was saying, Michael like sat down and curated minute per minute of how he wants
the show to go.
The show to be.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm gonna stand there for like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is going on. People are going to be screaming. I'll be looking on the left, and he stood. So, but this, you see, when you're in the boardroom, saying 2 minutes, it looks like it's a short time. So the guy was like, the guy was like, I was impatient. I wanted the band to start.
Yeah.
But Michael had told me 2 minutes. So they all stuck and waited for the 2 minutes.
Yeah, and he actually
and then he had removed his glasses slowly, and then the beat starts. Boom.
Every part of it is
calculated.
Yeah.
Yes. So creativity is needed, especially if you're working with live audiences. But how far can we go? Should it be entrenched in culture?
Yeah, speaking of Super Bowl, but we've seen like 5 Super Bowls.
Yes.
There've been lots of creative.
Everyone comes out with something different.
But they've also never crossed that line.
Yeah.
No, they do. Actually, these international shows, Grammys, those performances, if you go back and watch those performances in the comments, they're going to be guys who'll be like, this thing was too gothic. There were these satanic signs. Yeah. Some people see beyond.
Yeah. I understand, Douglas. I'm trying to understand it that way.
Yeah.
They might be doing their gothic stuff and all that.
Yeah.
But it's not something
Direct.
visible, like something direct. But we all know the story of Jesus Christ. We know everything about God. Like, there's some things you just cannot do.
Let's take it on the bigger side, because the God we're talking about says we don't judge, so we leave it to God for yourself. Let's talk about the creativity of how far we can go. And I think in this box we'll say, like each one of us, which has been that show where you go like, okay, they put in time and creativity. And you remember nearby or far.
Like here in Uganda?
Here in Uganda.
Or in Uganda only?
In Uganda.
In Uganda, I think... for the shows I've watched, like, because I've not really been on so many shows, but for the ones I've been there, the Spice Diana show, where she came from up in the sky at Lugogo Cricket Oval, that was beautiful. And the stage itself, the production was just like top notch. I was so blown away, honestly speaking. It was giving me international vibes. Then I would say Ape as well did an amazing job. He didn't overdo it. It was just
still our eyes were
simple,
glued and we're talking
simple
about it.
and classic.
Do you want to close it just to the Ugandan context or East Africa?
I've not really paid attention to so many.
Harmonize did. I think it was a show in a stadium, and they put like that zip line, like end to end.
The Chris Brown one.
Yeah, like he wanted to do that thing, although the zip line hanged somewhere.
I like the way you look at the mistakes.
No, because I looked at it, it was a brilliant idea. If you check one of those performances on TikTok, you'll see it. Yale agala noza kuva from one side to the other side. It was a campaign. I'm not so certain, but it hung somewhere
In the middle of the
in the
people.
middle. But if he had nailed it, that was an epic grand
show,
entrance.
yeah.
It was supposed to take him to the stage.
Exactly. Of course, for him, Abisanya ne Diamond. Because Diamond is king of those grand
Showbiz and all that.
entrances. Yeah, he's done several. He came in a coffin.
you remember in the coffin.
Yeah.
Now you see that coffin thing.
Yeah, that's
okay,
good.
like we don't really.
What's the way, Kai? You're
Yeah,
killing yourself.
You're killing yourself. That's none of
No,
our
because
business.
you guys are just seeing. You see they say life is spiritual. Yeah, you come in a coffin. What are you communicating?
I want to die.
Or you speak to that dead.
There are things that people used to say back then that they are called conspiracy theories.
Theories, yeah.
That you come to a concert, you don't know what you've picked up there. You go back home with the spirit, and the next time you're fighting with your
something.
friend, with your girlfriend, with your wife, or probably the next day you're looking for money.
Yeah, and you can't see it.
And then you can't like add up things together, yeah. But that's actually the conspiracy theory, yeah, because you need to first of all understand only what coffin.
What are they trying to
What are
preach?
they communicating?
Yeah.
Because you don't just wake up and say I want to be in the coffin.
But again, we're going
No,
to.
maybe they
Because you're
I
just
think let's
want to
compare
do-
these two on this topic in two times.
Yes.
Let's just agree that people are spiritual and the people are not. The people who may be and people are seeing it very normal.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what
No,
I said.
it's just that
Yeah.
you see things that have had like a mockery of God. We've seen an aftermath. Even in the Bible, like in Brazil, when they did that funny sculpture, and then they were doing their the festival,
Yeah.
then they got like we've seen the repercussions. Every after someone mocks God in a way, there's an aftermath.
Yeah.
Now for this that
Beatles,
you're trying to,
what?
people don't really like. We've not seen anything
Yeah.
that comes after.
Yeah.
But the things that come with mocking God,
Yeah.
there's always a sign that shows don't do it.
But I think also Christianity has been mocked more than you see the Muslims. Ask, I think it was Maulana and Rain. They used to do like skits,
Yeah.
either mariachi or Maulana and Rain, one of the two. They used to do skits around the
Muslims,
Islam, and I think they were
The
cautioned.
Yeah, the shaker said, yeah. I remember that
Muzata?
scenario. One of those loud shakers.
It was Muzata, I think. Muzata was like Temuchidam, and they never did. But Christianity is a bit very
We're forgiving, I
lenient,
think is the word.
very
But I've seen
lenient.
Semper's come out.
Yeah, he has come out.
You think they'll take him serious?
No.
I love the way
Why were you so fast to send that?
No,
He's not
because-
serious himself.
No, not that.
Yeah.
It's because he
The
has
way he's
come
on
out-
TikTok with
like,
Tamale Junior.
So when someone sees such a
Okay,
person,
yeah, no, yeah.
they might think, no, he's just probably doing this for
But why do you think Christianity is like being...
targeted. Or
I
something.
remember there was also creativity that Dr. Hildeman did. I think he dressed like a bishop, yeah. And then the clergy came out and they were like, they issued a statement, and I think he apologized.
I saw you saying, why is Christianity this time keeping quiet? It's where you're going.
No, I'm just asking, why is it like it's always the one that
Easy to target.
Yes,
I think the fact
than Islam.
I think the fact that Christianity has like different domains, like we have Christians, but
Catholics, Protestants,
Protestants.
Oh, and then
there's too much.
Born again,
So someone is, I think
Can
that makes
easily-
you can easily penetrate.
But again, before we go for a break, in my head, I'm thinking, is it wrong if inside the person didn't do it to mock God, but obongo bwa creative kyasoso mugira mutwe?
Checho, because a creative abanga mulalu. You think out of the box.
Because I'm
That's
imagining
what makes you a creative.
Kantu kabwe kayagamba walisenga kyekijja okujjayo the statement nga bo bakiraba plain wetu.
That's it.
Okimanyi bayinza okwakwade mu kakola kaabwe
No,
olina
but did you see
letaidi.
that Chris Brown one? The Michael Jackson one?
Which
That
one?
was so hilarious.
Which one?
You've not watched the video.
I've watched
where he
it.
was trying to be Michael Jackson. I like that. That was my favorite.
Let's run a break. It is NBS After 5. The question we are asking to you, the public, is how much creativity should our artists have? what is the limit? Should there even be a limit to creativity over anything that is creative? Chikola. Let's come back.
You will always know when you're in the presence of the finest. There's just something different, something unspoken,